bad that I dreamt about it. I dreamt about it. Can't wait for pennies to open again. This is ridiculous.
Dreaming about pennies, Benita, is very worrying. It really is. I'm sure Pennies as a company are delighted to hear that people are dreaming about them. Paul, like myself, I have to say, this is one of the things that I miss.
I miss the Gravediggers pub on a Friday afternoon with my father, just having a quiet pint of Guinness.
Ah, yes. Nowhere nicer than the Gravediggers. I love the Gravediggers, but I do miss my own local. And here's another fella who misses his local.
I miss the Goblet because it does beautiful points, and I'm sick of not having anywhere to go to watch the ball and hang out with the boys. So look up.
The Goblet, another great pub. I actually did a fundraiser event for them about a year and a half ago. Actually, if you saw on our Facebook page, the video of me, business that you miss the most and can't wait for it to reopen.
The hairdressers, barbers.
The barbers.
Do you know why?
Why? Go on, tell me why.
My wife has the scissors and she's sharpening with a sharpening stone, so I think she's going to go for the hair. And I need to get a hairdresser fairly soon. So what? And the way you get that, she looks at you, she says, "You know what I could do with his hair?" And that's it. I'm dead.
Okay, so she's lurking with intent with that scissors, is she?
Yeah. And she's looking at a lot of photographs, you know. And I don't know.
So heading into this long weekend, you're terrified that she's actually going to have a go at it.
Yeah, and when this crisis is all over, I'll still have a bad haircut.
All right, Joey. Let her have a go and then send me a photograph just for the laugh.
No.
Go on.
No.
Good luck. Have a good weekend. Morris said, have a listen to this.
Morning, Adrian. How are you? I'll be honest with you, I don't miss anything. Do you know what I'm after learning how to do? My wife taught me how to make brown bread. And I can't believe it, you know what I mean? We're cooking at home a lot more. We don't miss Carberry's. One thing people are forgetting, you might be missing all this stuff, but you all have a lot more extra money in your pockets. Get on the YouTube there and learn how to cook a lovely meal for yourself. It's a great feeling. Making brown bread after being married for 32 years, you can't beat it. Thanks, Carol. There's one thing I miss, Adrian. My wife's mother died last year. I miss Carmel. R.I.P. Carmel. Thanks, guys.
All right, Mars, thank you very much indeed. Adam sent me this message.
Jesus, lads, everyone's talking about healthy buzzes, gyms and stuff. Get the pubs open. We all miss the pubs. Jesus Christ. Can't live without the pub. Come on.
Pubs in general, I could live without. It's just my local is the one I miss. And JD does as well.
Adrian, JD here. We missed the Monday club in the Deputy Mayor pub. All the lads together having a bit of crack in the sing song. Please help us. Help us.
And finally, by the way, thanks very much indeed for all of your messages. It's been unbelievable, the amount of messages we're after getting in. Finally, a message from Maria. Not really sure what this means. I miss having 5 guys. And I'm not talking about the burger place either. Okay, Maria, that's each their own. Yeah, okay, right, there you go. Thank you very much indeed, Marty, and thank you all of you for all of your brilliant messages about the things that you miss. This is 98 FM.
The sound of the city, from Sallynoggin to Swords. Dublin Talks. 98 FM's Dublin Talks.
And this is Adrian Kennedy with you until midday today. Here is a problem some of you may have experienced over the last couple of days. As many of you will know, one of the only businesses that remain open during this time are companies selling food, basically, so supermarkets and so on. A few fast food or a few takeaways remain open and so on. But when it comes to the large supermarkets, over the last few weeks, several big stores and shops around the city have advised parents not to arrive with their children. Some shops have point blankly refused to let children on the premises for safety and to help prevent the spread of the COVID-19 virus. Now, where does that leave parents who have nobody to mind their children? Take a mother who has 2 children and nobody to mind them. She can't bring them into the store, so what does she do? Well, Rachel is a lady who got in contact with us wanting this highlighted. Rachel, good morning. Welcome to 98 FM.
Morning, Adrian. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, Rachel. So, this has become an increasing problem over the last week or two.
Yeah, and I really want to stress this at the start, though, is I actually 100% agree with all restrictions, with everything that's being put out to safeguard everyone. But at the end of it, I actually think kids are being punished for what adults are doing because of all the restrictions. And I'll explain why. I have 2 kids, and I'm on my own with the kids. Both kids are special needs. One is very high functioning, one is more dependent. So for me to go in and do a full shop and leave them in the car for that is impossible. Do you know that way? Even with their iPads, I would probably get 5 minutes, but I wouldn't be able to go in and get a full shop done.
Right.
Now, I've tried to go into Aldi's, I've tried to go into Lidl's, I've tried to go into a few shops with them, and I've tried to explain this to, like, the security guards and the manager and all. I'm being point blank refused, told, no, you're not bringing them in. Do you know that way? Which actually means I'm going out more because I have to go out every day then, and I have to go out.
Okay, so you are in a situation where you're parenting alone. Yeah. And obviously it wouldn't be very responsible of you to leave. What ages are the kids again?
They're 9 and 10.
9 and 10.
The 10-year-old has a mental age of about 5.
Okay. So obviously it wouldn't be very responsible of you to leave the kids at home on their own while you do a bit of shopping.
Oh, definitely not, yeah.
But what you're finding is that more and more places, more and more supermarkets are actually refusing you in the door with your children.
Yes. And I will say, every time I've went out with them, there's masks on, their hands are sanitised, there's gloves on before we step out of the car. They stay beside me. I will give them that. They're actually really good that they don't run off. They do stay beside me and they do listen. They're, like, I've sat down and I've done social stories with them as much as possible so that they understand as much as they can understand what's going on. But my biggest thing is that I had to go out twice this week from Rathfarnham to Tala to get prescriptions for my son.
Right.
And what I noticed absolutely amazing, I was so infuriated over it, to be honest with you, because the minute I left my home in Rathfarnham, the amount of adults I've seen out, and I'm not joking, at one stage, for one of the days, I actually thought, have I missed an announcement or something? Because it was actually like there was a fun day on. There were so many people.
And where was this specifically?
God, what's the name of that road? Ballyboden Road.
Right.
And outside, I don't know the name of the secondary school. It's a girls' secondary school. And I have to be honest, I was absolutely floored. I was like, what is going on here? Because I was like, I'm not able to bring my kids into a shop where they'll stand beside me, we'll keep the restrictions, we'll be in and out really quick. But yet these are all ignoring what's happening, and the kids are being punished. We're being punished that I can't go into a shop and do my weekly shopping. Because what's happening is I'm going out now probably every day to run around to the shop to get what I need, rather than being able to stay in and just do a full week shopping. Do you know that way? Because I can't go in and do a full week shop. If that makes any sense.
Yes. So how many premises have turned you away, have said no children?
Okay, well, I have literally, and I'm going to be honest here, I went past the 2 counters to try find even a Lidl's and Aldi's and the Dunnes to try and get into. The only place that has let me in was Dunnes in City West, but that was because that they know the kids, they know me and the kids, and they have actually said, like, look, we don't mind you going in when it's not really busy, there's no queues, but it's fine that time when there's no queues, when there's not a lot of people there. It's like I've went up probably 3 or 4 times this week, and every time there's been the queues have been out the door, so it's been impossible. Do you know that way? So it's like, what do I do? I'm out more now because I have to go around to the shop every day to get the necessities for the day, and rather than being able to go out, do a weekly shop once a week and just stay at home then.
Right.
Way?
So Do you understand? And in fact, if anybody else has been affected by this, with many supermarkets now not letting children in, particularly when they are busier, and I mean, we've all seen the queues outside the supermarkets, and it's not that there's loads of people in there; it's a queue just to make sure there isn't loads of people in there.
But even in the queues, bringing the kids. Even if I was to go into the queue with the kids, like any parent will tell you this, any child would get etchy and testy and kind of get fidgety. But trying to keep a kid with autism kind of on the spot waiting is absolutely, it kind of goes against the whole nature of autism in a sense. Do you know that way? And it's like I'm dealing with two of them. So I'm trying to kind of keep them. And then by the time we get to the top of the queue, then we're told, no, sorry, only one person per household, no kids allowed. And it's like, well, what do I do? And then, now in fairness, one security guard said, well, I can stand here at the door with them. And I was like, my kids are not going to stand at the door with you. You know what I mean? Trying to explain to them, like, my son...
So he actually asked for the kids to stay at the door with him?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
God, that's shocking, that is. So you were to leave your 9 and 10-year-old children with a stranger?
Yeah.
That's
I just point blank refused to.
Yeah, of course you did. Of course you did. Why would you?
Yeah, exactly. Do you know the way I was like... I honest to God, I was floored. I was saying, like, what do we do? I understand, like, I heard an ad on the radio and they're saying, like, you know, people can go in to, say, Tesco's or whatever, like carers and people for our elderly before 9 a.m. But I'm like, even that I can't do. I'm a carer and I can't do it because I still have no one to watch the kids. Do you know what I mean? I still can't drop them over to my parents. I still can't drop them here or there or say to someone, can you come out to the house? Or, do you know that way? It's impossible. Do you know that way? And I totally agree with restrictions. I totally understand. But I think sometimes there has to be a bit of kind of give and take when people are being mindful of the restrictions that are in place.
That is very frustrating. By the way, if you're affected by this or if you've any suggestions, please let us know. You can text, WhatsApp or send a WhatsApp voice note to 0877 98 98 98. In fact, I just got a message in a second ago you might be interested in having a listen to. This is from Mike, who's having a similar issue.
Adrian, it's a joke what's going on in the shops. I went to the shop there 2 or 3 weeks ago with my 4-year-old child and was told she couldn't go in. This was the weekend after all kids were out and about in parks and fields drinking and everything like that. They said you had to be over 16 to get into the shop. Now, who's more likely, Adrian, to have the coronavirus? A 16-year-old who's had to be out in the parks all weekend drinking with all their mates, with how many, God knows how many of them, or the 4-year-old child who was at home for the 2 weeks previous because her school was closed. It's ridiculous.
All right, Mike, thanks very much indeed. Rachel, stay on the line there for 1 second, because we're going to try and find out if this is a widespread problem. There are many supermarkets that aren't allowing children in, and that's fine if you arrive at the door of the supermarket on your own to do your shopping. But if you're in a situation like Rachel, where you're parenting alone and you need to do your shopping, then you need to bring your kids. You can't leave 9 and 10-year-olds sitting at home on their own when you've nobody else to mind them. We'll take a quick break. I'd like to hear from you. You can text, WhatsApp or send a WhatsApp voice note to 0877 98 98 98. 0877 98 98 98. We'll take a quick break. We're back in just a moment.
The sound of the city from Kilbarrack to Kiltiernan. Dublin Talks. 98 FM's Dublin Talks.
And this is Adrian Kennedy. We're here till midday today, this Thursday. By the way, just to let you know that we are not here tomorrow and Bank Holiday Monday, and we're back with you again on Tuesday. So if there's anything you want to raise on the programme before we finish up for the Bank Holiday weekend, get in contact with us very quickly if there's a particular issue you want to highlight on the programme before we wrap up for the weekend. We were talking with, and we are still talking with, Rachel. And Rachel has a bit of an issue. More and more stores are not allowing children in. And in fact, let me just play this message from Paul that's just come in to us.
Hi, I'd just like to ask, does anybody know what right supermarkets have to refuse children?
That's a very good question. That is a very good question. The supermarkets, there is an obligation on them to ensure that the shop is socially distanced and that that they don't allow too many people into their store so that it becomes overcrowded and social distancing becomes impossible. And that's why most of the supermarkets actually have a queue outside the door, and then they let one person out and another person in. That's to make sure that there's only a certain amount of people inside the store. But what right do they have to refuse children? That's a good question. If somebody can answer that for me, please do. You can call us on 6797981. According to one of our listeners, they reserve the right to refuse admission. But this is discriminatory, though, isn't it? Rachel, you said that one of the stores, the security guy offered to mind the kids for a couple of minutes. Yeah. Which I suppose on the one hand is, a decent thing of him to offer, but on the other hand, who wants to be leaving their kids with a complete and utter stranger? Yeah. Have a listen to this message from Jay.
Yeah, just for that lady that's stuck with the kids, isn't there a community thing with lots of volunteers where a volunteer can do the shopping for her as she needs it, where everyone's helping everyone else out and stuff like that? I don't know the specifics.
There are many community volunteers, but I don't know if they... I assume, Rachel, you don't want to particularly have to call on somebody like that when you're well capable of doing it yourself, and there are other people that probably need it more.
And that's the thing, is there is a lot of elderly people that are going to have to use these services a lot more. I'm physically perfect. and my kids are physically perfect. Do you know what I mean? In the sense that their disabilities aren't physical. Do you know the way? But I don't.
Can I ask you then? Do you have any understanding? And I know, obviously, in your situation, it is creating difficulties. But do you have any understanding as to why some supermarkets have stopped children?
I do, and I don't. I do for the fact that from what my understanding is that they're saying that kids are higher risk carriers and.
But also that a lot of them will run around the store and bump into people and
you know what, Adrian, I'll be honest, I think if I see someone doing that with their kids, I probably would say something. But I actually make a blatant effort when my kids are with me. Like, before I go into any shop with all this going on, I always explain to them, I do a social story with them, and they're actually quite good that they will just stand beside me. They will stand beside me, they won't run off. And what's getting me more is that I'm seeing adults going out and blatantly just disregarding all the restrictions. But it's the kids that are being, blamed
for it. Yeah, in fact, I was in a supermarket yesterday afternoon, and I'll be honest with you, it was like an assault course, trying to dodge people and keep distance from people. It literally was like an assault course, trying to work my way around the aisles, because people just stand there. And you have to try and avoid them, and it is. But you think that it's the kids that are suffering because of this?
Yeah, and I think, and you know what? I think actually, in fairness, I think a lot of the kids have actually been doing brilliant and haven't been given enough kind of, I don't know, recognition is the word, but yes, they're bored, they're not in school, they're not able to go out and play with their friends. Do you know the way? And now they're not able to even go to the shop with their parents. I feel like they're being punished for what the adults are doing. And to be honest, and I do genuinely think if you see someone in a shop with a kid, letting the kid run around, I would actually 100% agree with asking them to leave the shop. I have to be honest, I would. Because I would expect, if I was letting my kids run around the shop in this pandemic, I would expect to be asked to leave. And I would expect to have to just say, suck it up and say, okay, let's go. You know the way? Because I wouldn't be thinking, because the thing is, when I'm going into a shop, I want in and out of there as quick as possible with my kids.
Yes, and in fact, when I go into a store, I want to get in and out as quickly as possible as well. I don't want to be hanging around. And like I said, it was like an assault course in this particular supermarket yesterday. It wasn't overcrowded, but to avoid people and to stay 2 meters away from them, you were literally dodging them like bullets.
And a lot of my shopping gets done in 2 different supermarkets. I would do, say, half in one, half in another, basically because, and it's very common with autism, just because of taste. Different kind of, say, sensory taste for the food for the 2 kids. Do you know that way? So it's like kind of having to try suit the 2. And can I ask you, can you not use delivery service? Well, I've actually tried that, and the earliest delivery date I could get was nearly 3 weeks away.
Really?
And I tried again yesterday.
Now, I know they are flat out, and I know they're asking people, if you can go shopping to the supermarket, please do, because their delivery services are just completely flat out. But 3 weeks, I didn't think it was that severe.
Yeah, I actually tried again yesterday, and it was, what date did I get? I think it was the 1st or 2nd of June. It was early June I got a date for anyway.
Early June?
Yeah.
Geez, you'd starve to death before then.
Not June, sorry, May. Sorry.
May, oh, okay.
Sorry, yeah, early May.
All right, stay there for a second. SuperValue in Fir House stopped my 13-year-old, and I said I could enter, but not my child. I asked them to show me where the kids are in their rules. I told the manager my child stays in and hasn't moved out of the house, only to the back garden. After 10 minutes, they couldn't find a rule, so they let us in. Like others, we both washed our hands on the way in and on the way out. David, you're on 98 FM. Hiya, David.
Sorry, Adrian, Dermot.
Oh, Dermot. Sorry, Dermot. How are you, Dermot? Good. What do you want to say?
The first, I reckon, supermarkets not letting children in, I think, is more of a logistical thing, not because they're, a higher risk of carrying the infection. Say, for argument's sake, a mother rocks up with 3 children, that's 4 people going into the shop, and if you limited it to 80, shops would get very quick and your lines would get longer and a lot faster, But
I do understand that. And like I said, I've seen the queues outside many of the supermarkets because they're restricting the numbers going in. And I get all of that. And I understand that if a mother rocks up with 3 kids, that's 4 of them going in. Mm-hmm. That's 4 less people wanting to do their shopping or a longer queue or whatever.
That's it, Adrian. That lady there now, you see, we hear this all the time, and it's the truth. Not all handicaps and disabilities are visible.
Correct.
Right? So if that lady goes up in the morning for the early shopping with the vulnerable, and they're advertising it in all the supermarkets now, you have special time set aside, and you go up with your children and say, no children allowed. Well, I'm sorry, my children have autism and I am entitled to shop here, and that's the end of it. And if there's any argument with security, I'd get the manager out and say, look, you're advertising for it, this is the way it is.
Actually, that is a very good suggestion, Rachel.
Well, I've done that. I've actually done that where a couple of times where I've actually asked for the manager, and the manager has explained to me that it's, and literally I've been told on more than twice, point blank, it has just been said, no kids allowed. 1 person per household. And I'm not joking when I say this, I swear to God, they have just turned and walked away. That has
do you know what, I have to be honest with you, I'd name and shame them.
Well, no, we're not going to do that here and now.
No, obviously not here now. But it would, because any manager worth their salt would know, if you're vulnerable, if you're in an at-risk group, if you're elderly, if you have a carer with you, yes, please come between these hours. Well, you're the children's carer, without you, nothing happens.
And I will say the only place that has kind of, like I was saying earlier, that has really, because they know me and they know the kids and they know the issues with the kids, was Duns in City West. But every time that I do end up going up, there's queues out the door, so it's, again, impossible, that way, and it's like a catch-22 situation.
I have a feeling by the end of the day, something will be sorted out, because our German friends were the first to jump on this, and then they were followed by putting special times aside. Like, if you can do it if you have century places in airports and you have special screenings for cinemas and stuff like that, surely to God, like, people that are looking after their children on their own in the situation that you're in, there is no reason why you cannot shop with other people in the morning.
Yeah. Look, and like I said, I would understand, I would actually 100% agree if I was going into the shop and my kids were running around.
But they're not doing that. They're not doing that. And like you said, you just want to get in and get out.
Yeah. And I would be willing, even if I went into a shop, I would be willing to video the whole thing of the kids. Yeah, and show them that my kids aren't running about everywhere. They're standing right beside me. They're listening to me. I do it's like a social kind of story.
Not that you need to do it, but can I make a suggestion? And you shouldn't even have to do this, right? But get your GP to send you a letter and have the paper.
I have more letters than reports.
That's actually not a bad suggestion, to be honest.
Stick it under your nose. Hold on a second. Here's why I'm here. Do you have a problem with that? Carry on.
Yeah, that's not it's not a bad suggestion.
Because you cannot discriminate. That is discrimination. No children allowed is only a logistical thing. It's not because you spread the disease more.
No, and it's nothing because of any.
It's nothing to do with that.
And it's nothing to do with any government guidelines or anything.
Absolutely nothing. It's just to manage the stores.
Yeah. All right, Dermot, thanks very much indeed. Rachel, stay there for 1 second because you've really touched on something here. A lot of people affected by this. And we're asking how you feel about it. A number of supermarkets, and we do get the reason why a lot of them have had to do this, but in many cases, like Rachel, it is just not practical for her not to have her children with her. We'll take a very quick break and we'll take more of your calls in just a moment. Jennifer, I'll be with you straight after the break. Can't wait to hear what happened to you. It's 11 o'clock across Dublin. Good morning. This is Adrian Kennedy. This is 98 FM's Dublin Talks. And this is Emma with Thursday's top headlines.
Thanks, Adrian. Good morning. An infectious disease specialist is warning the Easter weekend could be our Cheltenham if we don't follow the coronavirus restrictions. The number of clusters of COVID-19 has risen to 299 here, with nursing homes making up a third of them. The number of people who've died of the virus across the world has risen to nearly 89,000. There are now more than 1.5 million cases, including 435,000 in the US. In New York City alone, 4,500 people have died. A consultant psychiatrist is calling for the minimum age for alcohol to be raised to 21 to tackle addiction issues. It's after new figures show the number of calls and emails to the HSE's drug and alcohol helpline rose by 29% last year. And staff at the Mater Hospital have gathered to applaud the Irish public this morning. They're showing their appreciation to everyone who's staying at home and helping to slow the spread of COVID-19. And now you're up to date on 98.
98 FM's Dublin Talks. Call 6797 981.
Thursday morning with Adrian Kennedy, and we're talking about an issue that a lot of parents are facing, and that is restrictions by a number of supermarkets, not all by the way, but a number of them, not allowing children into the supermarket on the basis of numbers. That's what this is about. But for some parents like Rachel, it is causing a major headache because she's two kids, she parents alone, her 9 and 10-year-olds with disability issues. She can't leave them at home. She has to bring them with her, and not only is she being refused from a number of premises, even one security guard said, "I should leave them here, I'll mind them." No, that's not the way we do things. Jennifer, you're on 98 FM. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Adrian.
Jennifer, tell me what happened. You were with your twins this morning.
I was, yeah. I went up as far as Super Value up in Walkinson, and they like that too. There's a queue outside, and I have twins. They're 8 with autism. Both have autism, and my little fella is non-verbal. And I saw the queue, I was like, "Oh no, he's not going to stick around." We got as far as the top of the door anyway, and I managed to get him in, and I'm going around just getting a few bits in a basket, and some elderly customer, I'd say maybe elderly woman, maybe early 70s, roughly. Right. Said, "Excuse me, there's no children allowed in here." And I said, "My husband is hospital staff. Obviously, he has to be working. I can't leave my kids with my parents because I can't be near the grandchildren. What do you want me to do? Leave them on their own?" And she just turned and walked on her heels. So I got a bit upset. So I'm walking towards, I just picked up a few bits of, I have to get out of here. So I just walked up as far as the girl, the checkout, and I said, "Are children allowed in here?" She mean, they are. Once they're with a parent or a carer, children are allowed in.
Okay, so in that particular store, they probably don't allow 14-year-olds to come in.
No, they're talking about young kids. You can't leave young kids on their own, Adrian. So what are you supposed to do? Leave them at home alone? You have to bring them out.
This is part of the difficulty here, that some supermarkets, as was said earlier on, it seems to be local management are enforcing this rule rather than the whole chain. And in Rachel's case, she has been literally turned away. You've been turned away and told you can't come in here with your children, Rachel. Yeah.
And not on like one occasion, on practically every time. And I went past the 2 kilometres to try find somewhere to go shopping to be able to bring the kids in, because I was like, oh my God, I don't want to keep going out every day, because that to me is worse than going in, doing one big shop and staying at home for the week. It's more of a risk.
I tell you another part of the problem that we have. is a lot of people going to the supermarket for one or two items, going down to buy a large slice pan, ridiculous reasons for going to the supermarket. We've heard calls earlier this week on this show from people talking about in France or in Spain, you were allowed out once every 5 days to go to the supermarket, and you need to keep receipts and all that. We don't really want to go down that road, so people need to go to the supermarket when they have to do a big shop, instead of taking up queue space just buying one or two things. So, Jennifer, is that the first time anything like that has happened to you?
It is, yeah. She upset me now. To be honest with you, my local shops would be Super Value like that and to Jones over in the Ashleaf, and I did a big shop last Friday, and obviously I had the kids with me, with my husband being in work, and I saw the queue, and it was out from one side door all the way around the corner, and I was like, oh, no way, this is not going to happen. I have to have the kids with me. There's no way around it. So I asked the security guard, I went up and asked, look, I'm their mother. My children both have autism, and I showed my carer's card. It has my name and both my children's name on it. I said, my daughter's okay. If my son's not going to, there's no way he's going to wait around. Not a chance. And in fairness, now that he let me in, he says to me, yeah, he was. They were really... I find if you're nice to them and you just explain the situation, a lot of them are okay.
No, I actually have now, and I have to say, I don't be aggressive explaining. And a lot of times I will keep my tone really quiet because I don't want to announce it.
I know,
to everyone, and I don't want the kids to hear it because I don't want them feeling, oh my God,
they're different.
I don't want them, and so I kind of always keep my tone really low when I'm speaking to them. But I'll be honest, I'm absolutely delighted hearing that because straight away in my head I'm like, oh my God, there's a place I can go and do my weekly shop now. Do you know that way?
Can I ask both of you your thoughts on this? I've just been sent in a photograph of a sign outside a supermarket in Walkinstown, okay? And it says, customers, could we please ask that you only shop one person per household? This is to help us adhere to the social distancing guidelines. Do you think, both of you, and Rachel first, that that's a reasonable request by a supermarket?
I do and I don't. I do in the sense I understand why they're asking it, but I don't in the sense that they can't just generalise for every single family and every household.
Have you seen any signs?
I've seen signs like that, yeah.
But have you seen any signs saying no children allowed?
Yeah.
No.
I haven't.
No.
I have seen signs saying one person per household, but I haven't seen any signs saying no children allowed.
Well, I tell you what I'll do, Adrian, and I won't do it today, but I will do it tomorrow because I have to collect a prescription tomorrow for my son. And it's up beside where my son's prescription is collected, and I can show you. I can actually take the picture and send it to you tomorrow of the sign.
Of a sign saying no, specifically saying no children.
No children allowed, yeah.
Okay, Jennifer, I've just been sent a message from a lady called Sandy. This is directed at you, actually, I'm afraid. That lady on now is ridiculous. If her husband is hospital staff, why then can't her husband do the shopping on the way home or when she comes home? When he comes home, you do it. Every family should only be doing a big shop once a week. I've 4 children here and have not left my garden. What do you say to that?
It's not one rule fits all, Adrian. Unfortunately, children with autism, they're because they're non-verbal. There's no school, there's no swimming, there's no routine. So even just to get them out for 20 minutes, half an hour, even to just regulate themselves, even for a ramble around to the shops and back, that helps. It's a long day here on your own with children, especially with children who don't understand what is going on and where their routine is uprooted and it's upended, and nobody knows when the end is in sight. Even to get them out for 20 minutes, half an hour around the corner, around the shop, that'll kind of help. That helps.
All right, stay there for 1 second, both of you. Let me bring in some more calls on this. Huge interest in this as well, and a lot of people affected. Tracy sent me this WhatsApp voice note.
Morning. I'm just back from shopping in Aldi's, and I'm going up in the morning.
In fact, I've just been told that that's Tracy on line 3, so no need to play your message. How are you, Tracy?
Good.
Tracy, you're also in a situation where you don't have a choice but to bring your child with you when you're going shopping.
Yeah, I'm a single mother, I have a 10-year-old son, and
it's to save me from driving them from a distance down to say my sister and say, here, remind him till I go and get me shopping, back up to where I live, back to get me shopping and collect him and back up again. I bring him with me. Like, it's the, the quiet time in the mornings.
Yes, that's when you're going, is it?
Yeah.
And any issues going?
No. There's queues outside. I walk up to the security guard. I show my son's autism ID card, and he just says, go. And Duns and all these, and they've been fine. Duns said to me last week when I went up in the afternoon, it was afternoon, and he said, if you can, he says, you'd be better off coming up in the morning time, for the quiet time.
Okay, and are you allowed in during that quiet time?
Yeah, with my son, yeah.
Okay.
He says beside me, do you know what I mean? He knows he used to keep his distance, and he says beside me, he keeps his hands in his pockets, he doesn't touch anything. So I don't see a problem. I could be standing beside me and walking beside me.
And they've allowed you to do that during that quiet time, and there's been no issues at all?
No issues,
and, Rachel, just back to you. What was the issue with the quiet time that you experienced?
Every single time I went up when there was meant to be quiet time, there was queues out the door again. And it was just, I literally came to a point yesterday and I just said, what am I going to do? I said, I'm absolutely fed up right now at this stage, because I said, I was now done. I have to say, and I said from the start, they were grand. They were always saying to me, look, come up when there's no queues, when there's not a lot of people in, there's no problem then, because they know that the kids don't run around. They know the kids stay beside me. Do you know that way? And they were lovely about it. So I was like, right, that's grand. Every single time I went up for when it was meant to be like quiet time, the queues are out the door before the shops
even open their doors.
Yeah, and it's absolute madness. I'm like, oh my God, do you know what I mean?
They will make an exception if you show the ID card or your carer's card.
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, I don't have either. But I have letters, I have reports, I have all that stuff, and they know the kids, and you can tell by 2 seconds talking to even my son. Do you know that way? That shouldn't be the issue even. Do you know that way? It shouldn't be the fact that just because they have autism or they have other issues that it should be this. Do you know that way? It's like I feel like they're getting punished for the adults not doing what's meant to be done. Do you know that way? And it's like, I'll be honest, like I said, when I get off the phone, I'm going to root out their reports and I'm going to go shopping. I'm going to attempt to go shopping and try to get a full week shop in without having to kind of go back. Do you know that way? Because like I said, I don't go over to them being aggressive around, because I speak quietly, because I don't want the kids to hear. And I especially don't want to be announcing it to everyone. Do you know the way all my kids are, No,
and like I said, you've definitely touched on something, because there are many people experiencing the same thing. Let's have a listen to this WhatsApp voice note from Laura.
Adrian, the adults are worse in all of this. My local, I won't mention, supermarkets, so there's obviously a long queue, and I've recently discovered going up that most of the people in the queue are actually together. So you'd see a couple together, but instead of them standing together, because they won't let them in together, it's only one person at a time going in. The couple will actually stand separate, making more of a queue. It's absolutely ridiculous. Can you not just go to the shop on your own?
And in fact, like we said, an awful lot of supermarkets have signs up saying, could we please ask that you only shop one person per household? This is to help us to adhere to the social distancing guidelines. It's not an unreasonable request to ask if there's a husband and wife in the one house, one of you go shopping. And if it's him, just give him a list and he'll be able to get all the stuff for you. Carol, you're on 98 FM. Hiya, Carol.
Hi, Adrian. No, I just listened to that girl that said an elderly woman came up to her this morning.
This wouldn't be the first story of this kind that I've heard. But go on anyway, yes. About an elderly woman approaching her about her child.
Yeah, no, she said she thought she was in her 70s.
Yep.
But the answer to her was, well, you should be at home cocooning. You shouldn't be out.
Well, that could have been an answer, all right.
And walk away. Walk away.
She just upset me. I mean,
Do you know?
I know.
She just picked out. I don't know. I just got upset, and I shouldn't have let her get to me. And I double checked with the girl on the till, who was lovely. She said, "Yeah, children are allowed in here once they're with an adult, and obviously they're not on their own." I mean, I'm their carer as well as their mother. My husband works full time in the hospital staff. I had to, even just to regulate them, get them there for 20 minutes, half an hour. I'd have them ramble around and then home again. They're both in the pyjamas now out on the trampoline. That's it. They're done for the day. You know, they had their little walk, 20 minutes, half an hour, out and about. And that's it. They're done now.
Well, it's a pity you didn't think of that and just turn around and say that.
I know. I'll have
walk
that
away
next time.
from it. Well, if it happens again, you know what to do.
You're very good. Thanks so much.
Although it's cheek matching cheek, really, isn't it?
I know it is. But
And because I'll be honest, I've seen a lot of people in fact, even in the supermarket that I was in yesterday, I saw a man who was definitely around the 80 mark out shopping, but I certainly wasn't going to give him a lecture about, you know, when somebody reaches that age, if he wanted to go out, that's his choice. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fine, but as long as he didn't approach anyone and tell them they shouldn't be in the shop.
No. I agree with you. It was very cheeky, that woman.
Sometimes Asian people can't, you know, they can't mind their own business. You don't know what's going on in someone's house.
Absolutely.
You know, I don't know because I'm behind closed doors.
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody just sent me this message, Rachel, for you, and it says, I'm an autism mum too. I feel for any autism mum trying to get a weekly shop. Tesco have started this for carers. You can skip the queue when you show your card on an autism Facebook. Sorry, I saw this on an autism Facebook page. And do you carry a card?
No. To be honest, I've never really kind of wanted to.
Yeah.
Because I don't. For me, it's not a case of the kids' issues aren't something for me to kind of either take advantage of, or I don't know. I just never felt I needed to. It was always a case of I know their issues. Just get on with it. You know that way.
Yes. Rather than letting the whole world know.
Exactly. Yeah. But look, I have enough reports. I have enough letters from psychologists. Everything that I have copies of. So I've no problem bringing them if that's going to be able to ensure that I can get a weekly shop done. But I will say I will be in and out, and I will still stick to the restrictions. They will still have their masks on. They will still have their gloves on. They won't be moving anywhere beside me. And I will ensure that through the whole shop. Do you know that way? And I've done, anytime I've tried to bring them anywhere. Do you know that way? And
it really is stressful. Let's play this WhatsApp voice note from Laura. That's
Adrian, the adults are worse now.
Oh, sorry, I played that, didn't I? I did, yeah, I did. Now, Rosa, you're on 98 FM. Hi, Rosa.
Hi, Adrian. How are you?
Good, thank you. You're in a similar predicament about children.
Yes. Well, so basically, I am a single mom. Okay, I'm working full time still here at home. Still need to go for shopping. So I usually try to go shopping now at nighttime when there is shoppings are almost empty, because basically they don't say anything to me. They don't say anything if I'm going with my child. But people looked at at my kid like they are literally the coronavirus going around to the shop.
And have people made smart comments to you?
They don't, but they see, let's say if my kid is fine, she's okay. But let's say if she coughs, so people look at her and it's like, oh my God, you know, it's like a panicking. And it's like, I just don't like this. Like when people, I don't know, it's annoying me when they look at the kids like they are something weird, and I don't like it.
Yeah, like there's 10 heads.
Yes, so there is, and I've seen it myself, there is this look of ew when with certain people looking at children, isn't there?
Yeah, and usually when you are passing by, of course, distance, passing by from an old person, like old lady or something, they look at the child and they are like a runaway or something. And it's like, I mean, I don't know if the kids can be have the infections already, but it's not. I mean, it feels like you are discriminating the kids now. Like you cannot go with your kids anywhere because they are. I don't know. They have the coronavirus.
Yeah, no, I do think people have an overt paranoia. Some people, not all people,
Yeah.
some people have an overt paranoia of children. And yes, we know that children, firstly, children can be affected by the coronavirus. They can contract the coronavirus. Our understanding is that they don't get badly affected by it. They can also carry it without even knowing that they're carrying it. However, that doesn't mean we're all the same. Children are no more carriers than adults are. And
Yeah,
that's the thing. So they don't deserve the sort of looks of contempt that they're getting from some people, or smart comments like Jennifer got.
Yeah, so like usually when I'm going to the shop, as I say, they don't say anything to me, but it's the people that is around that is look back at the kids. And sometimes I see like a family going, the whole family for shopping with maybe 3 kids, like a husband, I don't know, a whole family going to the shop. And I feel like this is not right. I mean, only one person should go to the shop. I have to go with my kid because I don't have more options. Like I cannot leave her here alone. She's only 3 years old.
Okay, so that's definitely not an option, leaving her there on her own, obviously. All right, but anyway, your point is, and Jennifer, I'm sure your point is as well, stop looking at children with disgust almost.
Yes. Yeah. You know, it's especially with kids, it's just letting us out and about. I mean, there's no need for people's smart comments. You know, nobody knows what's going behind closed doors.
Absolutely.
Especially kids with disabilities. Not every disability is visible, you know, and just to get about 20 minutes, half an hour. Rachel, I would advise you, though, to get a family carer card. And if you're in that situation again, just go up to and just have discreet word as a security guard in Dublin or Super Value, and they'll let you in. Because I find that they're lovely.
It's definitely worth trying. All right, let me just bring in one last call. And that's you, Laura. You're on 98 FM. Hi, Laura.
How you doing? How's it going?
Good, thanks.
I just want to reiterate on the point that the ladies made as well. You're in a catch-22 situation. You bring your child. Obviously, when you take your child and yourself out of the house, you put yourself at risk, like any other person who has to go to a supermarket, chemist, so on and so forth. The problem is that, like they said, not every disability is visible. I have a lanyard, an As I Am card and a carer's card. My local Tesco's, fantastic. As soon as this kind of all kicked off, I went to the security and I said, when and should I have to bring him? Is he allowed in during the carer's hours? You know, 7 a.m. to 9. Yeah, it's getting up super early. My child wakes up anywhere between 4 and 6 every morning. But I have to do it. He's only been brought there once. My husband is in transportation, so he's getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning and he's not getting home till 6 or 7 at night because they are super busy. They are supply chain. They need to keep it going between farm and food. So the thing is, like, it's Autism Awareness Month, and people need to be aware that because the child just looks like your child, a neurotypical child, has hidden disabilities, no one has a right to judge anybody, whether you're an elderly person who should be cocooning and you could be 80 years of age and as fit as a fiddle walking in doing your grocery shopping. No one has the right to judge. Most of the time, especially now, people want to get in and get out and get what they need. All the shops, the shelves, when Leo came on, made his announcement from Washington, everybody went ballistic. There was nothing on the shelves. People don't realise that there's people out there with food allergies, autistic children, adults, teens, who would only eat a certain brand of a product, and they couldn't be found. I end up having to go out and buy a freezer to stock that up with just food for what my son eats. I can eat like a crisp sandwich or something like that, get on with it, jam and toast. I can get on with it. I know what's going on, but he doesn't know what's going on. When he asks for McDonald's, you can't. I ask to go to Grandma's, you can't. I just have to keep trying to say to him, we're not allowed out. Everybody is sick. We don't want to be sick. But it registers in his head for, God love him, 5 minutes, and then he's asking me the same question. Can we go to Grandma's house? You know, people...
It must be very, very difficult for all parents in your situation. And in fact, it is something that we spoke about last week on the programme, about how this is especially difficult. Obviously, it's very difficult for many parents with their children, but it's especially difficult for parents of children with autism because, you know, it's easier to explain what's going on to other children, but can be very difficult for you.
There is, like, obviously certain children out there, in even like under 5, under 6, mightn't necessarily grasp the concept of what is going on in the world. But you have the older kids, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then slightly older who can. And like single parents, my heart goes out to them as well. If they have no choice, but they have to bring their children to the shops because they can't get somebody to mind them, a friend, a neighbour, because you're not allowed to do that. So you're stuck within a limitation, but then you have society looking down at you going, oh, she brought her child to the shop.
Yeah. We need to get away from that. We need to, as Jennifer said a couple of minutes ago, you don't know what's going on in people's worlds and people's lives.
Yeah, what goes on behind closed doors, Adrian? No one knows.
Okay, and just finally, Rachel, like I said, you really touched on something here that is affecting a lot of people. Can you get one of those carers cards that we were talking about?
Well, no, I can. I can easily get them. Do you know the way? And I think, if I'm honest, after hearing everything today, I'm definitely going to get one.
Yeah, I think you should.
If it helps with all this, but I'm definitely going to try. Like, I have unseen reports, everything with. But I think for me, it's like people should understand. Like, my son has chronic lung disease. The last thing I want is for him to be out all the time, around people, around all this, and being susceptible to catching this. Do you know that way? So I would prefer as well. I would prefer going in, getting the shop done, getting it out of the way, and not having to go out during the weekend.
All right. Now, just finally, you are aware, because a lot of people have sent in messages to us urging you to contact the community supports that have been set up. Whereabouts do you live?
I'm in Rathfarnham.
You're in Rathfarnham, so you're in Dublin South, is that right?
Dublin 16, yeah.
Yeah. All of the local authorities are providing help desks for people who, and they're offering shopping, offering all sorts of things. If you can, maybe call them. There is lots of places offering help. And I know what you said, that you're able-bodied, you don't see the need to be tying people down, getting your shopping for you, but that is what they're there for, if this is an issue. Or
I think if it comes to it, if that would be the last resort, I would end up doing that.
Yeah.
Do you know that way? I would prefer not to. I would prefer that we could just, like, they don't even have to have an allocated time, just if they even let pair 30 people in, one parent with their kids. Do you know that way? That being fair to kind of everyone then.
Rachel, I wish you well.
Thank you, Adrian.
And chin up and have a good weekend.
No, thank you. Thanks for talking about this and have a great weekend.
No problem at all. You too. All right, Rachel. Thanks very much indeed. Okay, you're listening to 98 FM's Dublin Talks. If you're somebody who, on a traditional, normal Easter weekend, would head off to somewhere like Wexford, stay tuned.
The sound of the city, from Donamead to Drimna. Dublin Talks. 98 FM's Dublin Talks.
And this is Adrian Kennedy with you until midday today. Now, yesterday we were sent various different videos and photographs of traffic delays on the N11 near Kilmachannick in County Wicklow, heading southbound. Now, obviously, some of the people in the queue of traffic were workers coming home from work. They're entitled to go to work in some cases. But I don't know if it accounted for all of the traffic on the N11 yesterday. And with that in mind, and the fact that we've been told to stay at home, the Gardaí, as we discussed on the programme yesterday, have been given new powers, which can fine us if we don't stay at home. It would appear that a lot of people are still taking that chance of heading off to places like Wexford, even though we were told yesterday, don't do it. And yeah, so on the motor, like I said, on the N11, now most of the main roads out of Dublin have had checkpoints on them. I don't know if they are permanent checkpoints, but they're certainly there. I've definitely been made aware of them. But one particular man is appealing to you not to come down to his county. And he is Fionn O'Sullivan, who is a Sinn Féin councillor from Wexford. Fionn, welcome to 98 FM.
Thanks, Adrian. Thanks.
Now,
obviously, I have to say it kind of goes against the grain for us in Wexford to say to people from Dublin not to be coming, because we very much value our Dublin friends and visitors every year.
Yes, because of course on a weekend like this, traditionally, starting from today being Holy Thursday, people, especially when we have nice weather like that, people in their droves would head to places like Wexford, down in the sunny southeast, for a lovely long bank holiday weekend. We've obviously no evidence that traffic queue in Kilmechanic yesterday was even anybody going to Wexford, but it would appear that was part of the issue.
Yes, it would certainly appear so, Adrian. And I know there were photographs. People were saying it was probably because of guarded checkpoints.
Yes. Or I also heard as a result of a traffic accident. I don't know which one of those are true, or maybe both are true.
Well, basically, what I was basing it on was more so the evidence on the ground in North Wexford, in villages such as Kilmuckridge, Ballymoney and Courtown River Chapel especially, which would normally have a huge amount of Dublin visitors. There was a huge increase yesterday. You could see all of the Dublin Reg cars.
Okay, so you do know
at the local shop. So it was very evident, it was an influx of visitors. It wasn't just down to what was happening on the M11.
Okay, so you have anecdotal evidence that people from Dublin have travelled to Wexford.
Oh no, it's direct evidence from all what I see around me, Adrian, and I mean, lots of them are obviously being very sensible, and I've seen the comments online of many people. There's a huge number of people have holiday homes and mobile homes in Wexford. In fact, there's up to 6,000 mobile units along the Wexford coast at some point now. In the north of the county, I know that many people didn't travel, but however, it was very evident, and even from the queues going into the shops yesterday evening, it was very evident a lot of people had just arrived. And I mean, what would concern us is that Wexford has actually been the most successful county in this state in terms of per head of population, in terms of flattening the curve. And
in that your number of cases of COVID-19 have been low enough, have they?
Yes, actually the lowest in the state, Adrian.
Really?
Going by population, yes. So it's been highly successful. So people have been very, very cooperative. And I have to say, I know a lot of Dublin people who do come down normally for Easter who are not coming, but it's evident that some people, the message isn't getting through to some people. And as I was saying at the beginning, it kind of goes very much against the grain for us in Wexford to be telling our Dublin friends and visitors not
we don't want you.
we very much welcome them here at all times. In Gorey, where I'm from now, is a very welcoming town, as any Dublin person will know, or Courtown. But just for now, if they actually hold off, it would actually expedite your arrival.
Okay, now obviously
this
here
will be sorted by summer, and we'll be very happy to welcome them down in summer.
Okay, now obviously we here, because of the population of Dublin, the majority of the COVID-19 cases are here in Dublin, and obviously one of your concerns would be the people travelling with the virus.
It would be, Adrian, and I mean, there are very close links between Dublin and North Wexford. Huge amount of people have moved permanently, so there is a huge amount of intermingling of family members up and down. I mean, it's only 50 minutes from Gorey to the M50 at the moment. So, I mean, that would be a concern for us, because, I mean, we know that Wicklow has been acutely affected by this, and Dublin, of course, has the highest number of cases. So it would be natural that that type of intermingling of people would create a problem.
Can I ask you, Fionn, in Wexford, I was of the understanding, and maybe I'm wrong, that all of the mobile homes parks were closed. Is that not right?
They should be closed, but I understand from what people were telling me last night, most of them were closed, but there was one particular mobile home park which actually people were coming and going, and there was an awful lot of Dublin Reg cars which were parked inside behind the mobiles and outside as well, and they were going up and down to the local shop in River Chapel. So it is actually, as of this morning, I understand it was only entrance by fob, and because obviously it is illegal to have them open at the moment, but it's obvious that some people weren't completely adhering to the rules and regulations. So I would hope that would be enforced today, and that people would be more responsible.
All right, now I'm being sent photographs actually from all over the city, and it would appear that all of the main roads out of our city have checkpoints, basically asking people where are they going, and if you happen to say I'm off down to Wexford, the guards will turn you back. And like I said, I'm being sent photographs from literally all over the city of different checkpoints that are there. That won't stop everybody, because some people will take a chance and drive back roads to Wexford or to wherever it is they're going. But your appeal is, please, just for this one Easter weekend, stay at home.
Yes, stay at home for now. We welcome you very much so in the summer. It is a life and death issue, and those people who are doing that are putting people's lives at risk.
Okay, I just want to play a couple of WhatsApp messages that have just come into us on this. Martin has a message for people wanting to leave the city.
Are people pure stupid, or do they think that they're immune from the virus, that they can go down to places like Wexford and not spread the virus or not catch the virus? The virus is everywhere, and the more people go places, the more the chances are it's going to spread. Now, people going down to Wexford, they shouldn't be going down there at all. They should be staying at home. All it is, stay at home for this weekend. It's only one weekend, and it's not going to be forever. Just please stay at home, everyone.
In fact, on our news bulletin earlier on, I'm not quite sure actually who exactly was it said it, but the warning was, let us not make this weekend our Cheltenham. And that's all to do with travelling and moving around and groups of people, perhaps from Dublin, where the highest amount of cases have been, travelling outside of the city and bringing the virus with them. And none of us are immune to this thing, by the way. That's the reality of it. Fionn Sullivan, councillor from Wexford, thank you very much indeed for talking to us. And like you said, I'm sure it does go against the grain for a local councillor in the sunny southeast to say, please don't come.
Yes,
and I understand how to. Sorry, I've just been asked to play one final WhatsApp note. Actually, this is somebody wanted to have a
What a ridiculous comment to make there from Fionn. Just because they're Dublin regged cars doesn't necessarily mean that they're all Dubs down there. You can buy a WX reg car in Dublin. You can get any county reg car in any county in Ireland. What an absolute ridiculous comment to make.
Okay, but Fionn, you are certain that there are extra Dubs in Wexford over the last couple of days?
Oh yeah, sure. I've seen them all around me, and I know the Dublin accent. I used to live there most of my life, so it's very evident that they are Dublin people.
Okay, and it's
obviously there's people from other counties, obviously, and there's people from other cars, but in the main, it's most of our friends and visitors in North Wexford are from Dublin.
Okay, so it's not just based on the car regs, is basically
no, not just based on that, of course.
All right, Fionn Sullivan, thank you very much indeed for talking to us on 98 FM. So please, please, please stay away from anywhere. If you don't have to go anywhere, don't go anywhere. Even if you have a mobile home, if you have a house in the West, just please stay at home. And finally, I have to travel to River Chapel in Wexford tomorrow to deliver groceries to my dad, as he is high risk and cannot leave his house. I'm quite nervous about being stopped and having to prove I'm going down to visit my dad. The only thing I would say to that person, as per back to our previous conversation, that in every county in Ireland, there are organisations that are helping people get their shopping. And if that's the only reason you're going to Wexford, maybe you should look into getting onto Wexford County Council and find out about what plans are in place in Wexford to help people like your dad. And one final WhatsApp voice note from Damien.
How you doing, Adrian? It's Connor here. I don't know how many times I've heard people saying, are people stupid, are people thick? That is a null and void comment. People just don't care. I don't know how many times I've listened to that, and they're just saying they've heard all of these restrictions being put in place, and they're just literally giving us the two fingers. So I hope that the guards clamp down, and I hope that they enforce the €2,500 fine and possibly jail sentence for those people that are willing to take the chance. Right, thanks. Love the show.
All right. right, thank you very much indeed for your messages. This is 98 FM's Dublin Talks. Now, I did mention to you that this is our last show before the bank holiday weekend. We're not here tomorrow, and we're not here on Monday because of the bank holiday weekend. Okay, so we're getting a little bit of a break, and then we're back with you live on Tuesday at 10 a.m. But for us, today is our Friday. And always on a Friday on this programme, we bring you our weekly quiz, our Say What You See quiz. If you would like to take part in it, all you have to do is send us a WhatsApp with the word quiz and then your name and send it to 0877 98 98 98. Start your WhatsApp with the word quiz and then your name, and send it to 0877 98 98 98. If you'd like to take part in our Say What You See quiz, send us a message right now. So start your message with the word quiz, and then your name, and send it to 0877 98 98 98. And then when we ring you back, please answer your phone, because some people think that's all I have to do. We will call you back and we will put you on air and we will play the game. We'll take a quick break. Back in a second.
The sound of the city from Perrystown to Portmarnock. Dublin Talks. 98 FM's Dublin Talks.
And this is Adrian Kennedy. Every Friday on this programme, we bring you our Say What You See quiz, but it's not Friday. It's Thursday. But for us, it's our Friday because we've actually a day off tomorrow and we've a day off on Monday. So we thought we would play our Say What You See quiz with you today. And if you would like to take part, all you have to do is send me a WhatsApp message right now with your name and send it to 0877 98 98 98. 0877 98 98 98 if you would like to play our Say What You See quiz. Are we good to go? I think we are. Who have I got on line one there, lads? Sorry, I have no name there. Hello, who's on line one?
It's Ruth.
Oh, Ruth, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, Ruth. Ruth, are you ready to play our Say What You See quiz?
Yeah, I've never played it before, so I don't even know the concept. But sure, look.
Sure, look, let me explain it to you then. In my hand here, I have cards, and all of these cards have things written on them, and I have to try and explain to you what's written on them without telling you what's written on them. Are you with me? Okay. Yeah. You reckon you can do that?
I'll give it a try.
We'll give it a try, okay. You have 1 minute on the clock to give it a try, and your 1 minute, Ruth, starts now. Okay, this is an expression that is used for basically copying your neighbours. Doing what your neighbours are doing.
Keeping up with the Joneses.
Is the right answer. Now you get how this game works, okay? That's the right answer. This is something I think it was Mr. Spock used to say in Star Trek. I think.
Beam me up, Scotty?
No, but he might have said that as well. No, this is something to do with having living for years and getting and being wealthy or successful.
No idea.
Okay, it's Mr. Spock. Okay, if you have a long life, it means you live long.
Oh, and prosper.
Live long and prosper is the right answer. Yeah, well done. This is something Red Bull does for you.
Gives you wings.
Yeah, allegedly, yeah. This is, he's a cyclist and he's very, very, very successful. And was he a cheat? I think he was. Yeah, I think he was a bit of a drug cheat.
His name now.
And his second name is the same as the man who landed on the moon. Who's the first man on the moon? Who's the first man on the moon?
Buzz Aldrin?
No, he was the second man on the moon.
Oh, for God's sake. Lance Armstrong is your man's name.
That's exactly the answer at last. Okay.
I got there in the end.
Ruth, you, for somebody who's never played the game, didn't even know how it worked, you're in the lead with a score of 4. So well done. Excellent indeed. And stay listening. You'll know a little bit later if you're the winner. All right. Well done.
Okay.
Thanks very much indeed. If you want to take part in our Say What You See quiz, send us a WhatsApp with the word quiz and your name, and send it to 0877 98 98 98, and we may call you back. although there's an awful lot coming in. Lauren is our next contestant. Welcome to 98 FM, Lauren. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm very good. Now, Lauren, you know how this works, do you?
Well, no, I would have been in the same boat as Ruth, but
you get the idea now, do you?
Yeah.
Okay. Lauren, you have a minute to beat Ruth's score of 4. You can't equal it, you have to beat it, okay?
Okay, yeah.
So you've 1 minute on the clock, and your 1 minute starts now. Okay, this is something that they'll say to you at the till when you're about to pay for your shopping. They'll ask, are you paying this way or this way?
Card?
Cash or card is what they will say. Cash or card. You meet somebody and you had a relationship with them years ago, and they are a something from the something.
Stranger from the past? No.
Yeah, you go on, you're getting there. Something from the past. You're nearly there.
Straight. No.
Okay, an explosion makes a big...
Oh, bang.
No, not a bang from the past.
Bomb.
No, not a bomb from the past. No.
God, I don't know.
It may have been a bang from the past, but no, that's not what I was getting at. Something from the past. It actually rhymes with past.
Blast.
A blast from the past is the right answer. Okay, here's your next one. This is... Oh, time is up, but I'm going to give it to you anyway, okay? Just to see what you've gotten this one. I think it was... Oh, who sang that song? Oh, sorry, I can't remember who sang the song back in the day. Was it Christina Aguilera or somebody like that? That doesn't matter anyway, because you're not going to win. So, sorry about that, Lauren.
No, you're fine.
Great to talk to you. Thanks very much indeed. Have a great weekend. This is our Say What You See quiz on 98 FM, and Elaine is next. How are you, Elaine?
Hey, how's things?
Good, thanks, Elaine. Elaine, 4 is the score you're trying to beat, okay?
Yeah.
And you have 1 minute to try and beat a score of 4. You can't equal it, you have to beat it. And are you ready? Here we go.
Yeah,
your
ready
1 minute starts now. Okay, this is the catchphrase for, you know, the drink Lilt that has pineapple and all in it, yeah? Do you know
totally tropical?
Oh, that'll do me. Lilt with the totally tropical taste is the right answer. Okay, this is a game that you play. You might play with kids. You can play with adults as well. Where you play a bit of a song, and then when you stop the song, everybody has to freeze.
Musical chairs?
No, everyone has
Musical statues.
Musical statues is the right answer. Well done. This is a line from Mark McCabe's Maniac. She was a sexy lady.
So you had to get her thrill.
That's exactly what she had to do. She had to get her thrill. This is something that, the baby is born and Daddy decides he's going for a pint. He goes for a pint to do...
Wet the baby's head.
That's exactly what he's doing. He's going to wet the baby's head. This man was nicknamed the Muscles from Brussels. He's an actor.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No, not him, no. He's got a double-barrel name.
Vin Diesel?
Sorry? No, not Vin Diesel, no. Oh, it was... I think he was the Muscles from Brussels. Yeah, Vin Diesel's American anyway. He was nicknamed the Muscles from Brussels. Is he in the ad for Coors Light as well, I think? He may well be. No? No.
I think.
Oh, no. No?
No, it's just gone.
See, does anybody know the answer to that? This man was nicknamed the Muscles from Brussels.
Jean-Claude Van Damme. Van Damme.
Am I going to let her have that, lads? No. I'm told you took too long. You took too long. Sorry, Elaine.
No.
It was Jean-Claude Van Damme is his name. Have a good weekend, Elaine.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. First man, actually, on the quiz, and that is Barry. How are you, Barry?
I'm good, thanks. And yourself?
Grand. Not a bother, Barry. Barry, would you have known that the Muscles from Brussels?
No, I was thinking Val Kilmer for some reason.
Oh, really? Oh, no. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Actually, I saw him only yesterday in an episode of Friends yesterday afternoon. He was in an episode of Friends years ago. Anyway, Barry, I digress. Are you ready to play our Say What You See quiz?
I'll do my best.
Okay. You have a minute to beat a score of 4, not equal it. You have to beat it, and your 1 minute starts now. Here we go. Barry, this is an expression for somebody who's talking absolute rubbish. They're talking out of...
their arse.
They are. That's exactly what they're doing. They're talking out of their arse. Here comes your next one. Blankety, blankety, blank. The mouse ran up the clock.
Hickory dickory dock.
The mouse ran up the clock is the correct answer. Good man. This is a game that we used to play as kids, or maybe slightly older. And, okay, if I have a ball in front of me and I strike it with my foot, what am I doing? If I have a ball and I strike it with my foot, I'm doing what?
Kicking, penalty shootout.
Yeah, no, kick, yeah. And this is a game that kids used to play, and it's all to do with kicking. You're kicking something.
Kick the can.
Kick the can is the right answer. Good man. Here comes your next one. This is an expression... No point to me continuing, Barry, because you could only get 4. Won't be enough, I'm afraid. All right, good to talk to you, Barry. Thanks very much indeed. Dave is next. Hello, Dave.
Hello, how are you doing?
Good, thanks, Dave. Dave, welcome to 98 FM.
Thank you.
Welcome to our Say What You See quiz, and you need to beat a score of 4, okay?
No bother yet.
No bother at all. You've a minute to try and do it, and your 1 minute, Dave, starts now. Here we go. This is what you might have said to your friend when you were a kid and they weren't telling the truth. If somebody's not telling the truth, they are a
waffler.
A waffler, yeah, they are a waffler. No, but they're telling something. They're telling what? No, they're not.
Liar.
Yeah, so you might say... So somebody who said... What did that person say?
Liar, pants on fire.
Is the right answer. Liar, pants on fire. This is an expression for somebody who's cursing an awful lot. They're blanking and blanking.
They're effing and blinding.
That's exactly what they're doing. They're effing and blinding. Okay, the next one. This is a game which is where you run around in circles, basically, and it's like baseball. Rounders is the right answer. Good man. Here comes your next one. This is a game we used to play as kids, and it involved a bit of this.
Kiss chasing.
Kiss chasing is the right answer. Well done. Here comes your next one. This is an expression... This is an expression... I've started. This is an expression for... another version of it will be, is the Pope Catholic? Okay? And this is another one to do with a big R.
What the hell?
Okay, hang on. Think of it, we're not going to get this anyway, but think of a big, huge animal that lives in the woods.
Bear? A bear?
Yeah, it's an expression, like, is the Pope Catholic?
Bear shit in the woods.
Does a bear shit in the woods? Is the right answer.
Jeez, you made that hard.
That was hard, actually. Who wrote that? Dave, stay on the line there for 1 second, okay? Because I've only one more contestant, and we'll find out if you're the winner, because you're in the lead now with 5. Steph is our final contestant. How are you, Steph?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, Steph. Steph, you ready to play?
Yeah.
You have to beat 5, okay?
Okay.
You have a minute to do it, and your minute starts now. This is something that you would have said to your friends when you were a kid, if the teacher was coming, or if your mammy was coming, or somebody was coming. You'd say, what was it?
Sketch.
Yeah, that's exactly what you would have said. You would have said sketch. Yesterday, the Beatles song, yeah? Yesterday. Yeah, go on.
Oh, my trouble seems so far away.
That is the right answer. Well done. Here comes your next one. This is something that you might have also said as a kid when you had to run. You had to split. You had to...
Leg it.
Leg it. That's exactly what you would have said. You'd have said leg it. No, give it to me. This is about an ice cream.
Cornetto.
That'll do me, yeah, just one cornetto. Quick. This is... Sorry, where's it gone? Sorry, they're all mixed up here. This is something you might have said to your friend about your friend and wanting them to be with each other.
Will you shift me, mate?
That's close enough for me. Will you meet me, mate? Okay, finally. This is something that you might do in Dublin Port and go to Holyhead on it.
The ferry.
Yeah, no. You would. It's also.
Get the ferry.
Get the
boat.
Get the boat is the right answer.
Yeah.
Steph, you just won our quiz. Well done.
Yay!
Now, I haven't a clue what you've won, by the way, but we're going to arrange something with you because all of the stuff that we give away, all the places are closed at the moment. So, but we will get something for you. So well done, Steph. You're the winner of our quiz with a score of 6. Congratulations and thanks for playing.
Thank you very much.
And have a great weekend.
You too. Thank you.
There you are. That's Steph, the winner of our quiz with a score of 6. Well done to her, and thank you to her for playing, and thank you all of you for playing. That was a bit of crack. That's it from us for today. I hope you enjoyed the programme. We are not here tomorrow, Good Friday, and we're not here on Monday, which is Easter Monday. We're having a long bank holiday weekend, and we're back with you live on Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. And over the weekend, if there's anything you'd like to bring up in the programme, send us an email to dublintalks@98fm.com. dublintalks@98fm.com, or a private message through our Facebook page at facebook.com/Adrian K and Jeremy D. Have a happy and safe bank holiday weekend, and I'll talk to you again next Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. I'm Adrian Kennedy. Enjoy the weekend. Barry Dunn is next with some great music lined up in the next hour, like these.
The sound of the city, from Furhouse to Finglas. Dublin Talks. 98 FM's Dublin Talks.